Hey everyone, it's Casey, and today I'm excited to show you 3 of my favorite ways to open up my shoulders and my upper back while using a wall space. And the only prop I'm using today is a block, which we'll use for one of the postures. So if you don't have it, you can do the other ones, but I will say that the one with the block is one of my absolute favorites, okay? So we're gonna hold them for about 3 to 5 breaths each, and then we'll see how you feel afterwards. So let's take a moment, just find a comfortable seat, spine up nice and tall. We're just gonna get a little bit into the breath, a few breaths together. Hands rest down at your lap, close your eyes, spine up. Exhale, let your breath out. Slow breath in, really open up all the way up into the shoulders, the upper back. Feel that breath expand. Imagine filling up the shoulders with air, and then just open up your mouth, let it out. Let's just do one more. Slow breath in. Scoop it all the way up. Lift the breath as high as you can. Expand it through your shoulders, your upper back. And then just open up your mouth and exhale, let it out. Now one more through the nose, slow breath in, expanding from the bottom up, all the way around, opening up into the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. It expands in all directions. Holding at the top of the breath, just a slight retention. We're gonna keep the breath through the nose as you exhale, just to slowly start to melt the breath back out and maintain a nice, smooth, steady breath afterwards. So let's go ahead and open up through the eyes. Keep your breath nice and steady, especially as we move into these postures because they can feel a little intense. So first thing we're gonna do is a puppy pose at the wall. I like this one because you get to gauge the level of intensity and depth that we go into, and it's really easy. So we're gonna come up onto our knees and come up almost into kind of standing on our knees position. And I want you to measure your arms distance away from the wall to where your hips stay stacked over your knees. So we don't want to be too far away. We don't want to be too close in, okay? We want to be nice and stacked. Hands are about shoulder width apart. Knees are about hips width apart. I'm gonna walk my hands up the wall, but my hips aren't gonna pull back or sink forward. They're probably gonna wanna sink forward. Try to resist that from happening. Sit bones tilt up, and then you can widen the hands if you need more space. You can also drop the elbows at any time, otherwise arms straight for a little more intensity. Start to melt the chest towards the wall. Your forehead can touch the wall, maybe your chin touches the wall, maybe the chest. Wherever you are, just breathe. Your hands can slide a little bit. They don't have to stay stuck in that position. And just take 3 more deep breaths. Slowly pushing your way away from the wall. Once you're here, let's just take the arms and just kind of open them out to the sides. Let them swing out and back around. You can roll the shoulders out a couple times. Okay. Now we're gonna grab our block because we're basically going to target a similar space, okay? So it targets more of the upper back than it does the shoulders. We're not gonna get that deep opening through the chest and the shoulders as much, but it is gonna target that upper back really well. Now, it can be a little complicated as to how we hold the block and how we access the right positioning. So you're gonna hold your block perpendicular. So you're gonna hold the center of the block so that the long ways are out to the sides. So you're almost creating like a T shape, okay? Now hold on with your fingertips as you reach the arms up and over your head. Now as you do, the block is gonna kind of touch upper back, shoulder area, okay? That's where you want it. This is where we're gonna start to open. So wherever your block is touching is probably where you're gonna be opening, okay? You can adjust with your fingertips to have it go higher or lower on your back between the shoulders. You're gonna find your sweet spot there, okay? Now, as you bring it overhead, it's probably gonna be the corner or the edge that's touching, okay? We will do a little micro adjustment, okay? If you wanna watch first, my elbows are gonna come down next to the wall. And I'm gonna slide myself forward until the block touches not only my back, but the wall. But I don't want the edge to be touching the wall. I want it to be a flat surface touching the wall so it's really solid and stable. So I want the short end of the block to touch the wall, not the same side that my fingers are on or the opposite side, the long side. I want it on the short side. So the short side goes flush to the wall. I'm still holding with my fingertips, and then I can reposition my back so that I'm touching my back against the block wherever I want it, against that edge. Continue to hold on with your fingers lightly, okay? And then you're gonna tuck the toes. If you need to walk the legs back, you can. And you're gonna lift the knees and hips. And then you can walk forward as much as you'd like, and then press through your feet as though you're trying to press your body into the block and into the wall. Hips go up, upper back presses into the block, and hold here. Take about 5 deep breaths. If it's ever too much, drop down into child's pose, or if you need to reposition the block into a slightly different space, you can do that too. You get to gauge the level of intensity and depth by how much you decide to push into your feet. So back off if you need to. Take rest as you need, okay? Listen to your body. Couple more breaths. And then slowly drop the knees. You can set the block out of your way and just rest into a child's pose. Arms can be forward, or they can rest down to your sides if you prefer. Just give yourself a couple more breaths to just kind of ground and recalibrate. Let your body re-neutralize. Okay. Coming all the way back up. So the next one I like to do is a little more focused on some range of motion within our shoulders. So for this one, you might have to play with your distance away from the wall, okay? But I'm basically gonna find a comfortable seated position. I like to sit on my heels. You can also take a block, bring it between your feet, and then sit on the block. You can even stack blocks to be a little higher. Realistically, this is just so that you don't have all your weight sinking on your heels if it causes any discomfort in your knees. Otherwise, any comfortable seat is fine. Reason I choose this one is because I can get a little closer to the wall than if I'm cross-legged. Sometimes I have to reposition or my knee is knocking into the wall. So I just prefer this if possible, but cross-legged is still fine, okay? So I'm gonna come next to the wall, first where I come as close as I can to where I still have room and space for my shoulder and my arm to kind of sweep, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna play on the rotation of the shoulder. It's gonna become more difficult when we get up towards the top and have to start making rotations and dropping back. Notice as I was dropping back, my chest had to open back to find more space. We want to minimize that opening or that readjusting and turning as much as possible. So I'm going to scoot a little bit more away from the wall until I can try to keep my shoulders squared and chest facing forward as much as possible the whole way through, okay? So make adjustments as needed, but we're going to start with our left arm towards the wall, okay? Or if you're doing right arm, no biggie, you can switch sides on the next one. So with your left arm down to the side, palms facing you, you're gonna bring the arm forward, okay? And then sweep it all the way up. It's probably not gonna be touching the wall yet, okay? Now you're gonna flip the palm towards the wall. And as you do, you're gonna slowly try to keep the chest facing forward. Let the arm start to drop back. You're probably gonna slide it against the wall. Try to open as little as possible and try not to bend your elbow. Once it's all the way down, then you're gonna sweep the hand back into that starting point, palm faces you, okay? Now, if you feel like you can go in a little bit closer, go in a little closer. If you feel you need a little more space, you can stay close and then separate when you need to, okay? Or you could even just shift your upper body away from the wall slightly until you can bring it back in. So that's what I'm gonna do on this next one. I'm gonna keep myself really close. My shoulder's basically touching the wall. Palm faces me. Arm reaches all the way up. Now once it's up, flip the palm towards the wall. Start to draw it back. If you need more space, just open up your shoulder slightly away from the wall. Try to keep your chest pointing forward. How much do you need to lean away from the wall? And then once it's there, my shoulder moves back towards the wall decreasing that space until I can bring it back to center. We're gonna do that just one more time. 3 rotations each. Arm forward, reach it up. Once it's all the way up, start to draw it back, flip the palm towards the wall. Open up just as much as you need to while keeping the arms straight and the chest pointed forward, and then bring it all the way back around. Okay, switching sides. I'm gonna face away from you now. Find that distance. Recognize right and left side might be different. That might have been your tighter side or more open side. Okay, palm faces you to start. Inhale, lift the arm all the way up. Just continue breathing. Now, once you're here, flip the palm towards the wall. Try to keep your chest forward. If you need to scoot away, you can, or you can slightly tilt. Okay, but make sure you're not crunching to the side to tilt. It's just a very slight askew. Okay, if you're crunching over, scoot away from the wall. Then let the arm start to drop back, chest stays forward, and drop the arm all the way down to your side, palm faces you again. Let's do that again, arm reaches forward. Once it's up, flip the palm towards the wall. Spine stays upright, arm stays straight as you start to slowly drop it back and around, and then palm faces you, arm down to the side. Last variation, take it to your appropriate depth, find your edge. Arm reaches forward and up. Rotate palm towards the wall, start to draw it back, maybe lean slightly, and let it rotate all the way back down and around. All right. Spine up nice and tall, find a comfortable seat, pull the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Hands draw together at heart center. Go ahead and close your eyes here for a moment. Feel your shoulders, feel the upper back, feel your chest. A nice opening, also a nice strengthening and support being built within that structure. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you, and thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Much love, much gratitude from me to you. Thanks everyone. When it comes to shoulder work, there's a lot of different ways that we can move, open, and target into the shoulders. I love a wall space. I love the resistance that it creates for me, using it to help access more depth, more space, and to ultimately have more control with accessing that depth and that space within the body. So I hope you enjoyed using the wall space. I would love to hear your feedback, how it felt in your body, or maybe out of those 3, which one was your favorite. Share your feedback, share with a friend, and I will be seeing y'all soon. Thanks so much.